Republicans caused the worldwide recession that we are currently in. 8 years, Bush-Cheney Republican and the Republican Party controlled not only the presidency, but also both houses of Congress. And in those 8 years, the policies were all Republican. And Republicans started and caused not only the U.S. recession, but the global recession that the world is still in. So who are these Republicans? Was that a fluke? Not at all. This is who they are. If you look at what they do, what do Republicans do? What do they actually vote for? Not what they say in their political propaganda. But if you look at what they do and vote for, you'll never vote Republican again. And why? Because Republicans are against you. Republicans vote against everything that you and your family needs. And they vote for, what do Republicans vote for? They vote for tax breaks for the rich. One of the most stupid ideas of anything that's come along ever, right? I mean, you got a person who's rich. You've got to give them so rich, you give them the term that they're rich. Well, they don't need tax breaks. They're already rich. In fact, if you tax them, you'll still have a person who's rich. And remember, during the Republican Eisenhower era, that rich class was taxed 90%, and they were still rich. But because of that, they contributed to our national economy through those taxes. Now, Republicans, as you know, pass through tax breaks for the rich. They pass through tax breaks for corporations. 60% of corporations in the U.S. don't pay any taxes. That's right. And currently, tax revenue, that the U.S. receives anyway from these corporations, that accounts for only 5 to 7% of the tax money that the government receives. And yet, Republicans right now are still pushing for continuing tax cuts for the rich and to even give more tax breaks for corporations. And by doing that, they are also wanting to raise your taxes. See, that's what I mean. When you look at how they actually vote, you'd never vote Republican again. Republicans are against you. Who are they the friends of? Big corporate criminals that just caused the biggest meltdown in the world economy. Republicans deregulated the banks. Republicans deregulated the financial sector. And without financial restraint, without oversight, without regulation, you see what happens. Criminality, fraud. Republicans try and tell us the propaganda of fraud, don't they? They tell us this lie. They keep telling us, the marketplace will work it out. The marketplace, well, you don't need regulation. The marketplace will handle everything. And of course, once you look again at facts, at history, you find that businesses never do anything to benefit you. They do it to benefit their profit. To everyone in the corporate system, profit is more important than you. And because of that, their mouthpiece of corporations, the mouthpiece for the corporations, right, is the Republican Party. And Republicans are the same way. To Republicans, profit is more important than you. So Republicans vote for things like rolling back clean air, clean water standards so that corporations can pollute and poison you and your family more. Tax breaks, tax incentives to have corporations take your job and move it overseas to India, Malaysia, China, Pakistan. You're out of work. But the corporation is making more profit. And on top of it, it's not paying any taxes to keep the whole country running. You start to see the sham. Republicans are against you. Just look how they vote. Not what they say, but how they vote. Right now, every Republican candidate who's trying to be a presidential candidate wants to cut corporate taxes and raise your taxes. Republicans were going to hold up unemployment funds. Here they caused the biggest meltdown in the U.S. and the world economy. All these millions and millions of Americans get laid off. We have an unemployment rate that's still going to hover really over 10%. People are out of work. The corporations took the jobs thanks to the Republicans and moved them overseas. Hasta luego. You're out of work. You're on unemployment. You need something to benefit. That's what government does. Because government is you. Government is you. What you need. That's the focus of government. You. But Republicans held up the unemployment funds, all the money that would go to unemployment, until they could get tax breaks for the rich passed. See what they're more in favor of? Not you. They don't care about you. They care about the rich, the corporations. They care about profit. Profit is more important than you. Over and over again. You see this as the reality of what Republican really is. And now, Tea Party, because we know that Tea Party is a fake. Tea Party was created by corporate billionaires like the Koch brothers, right? Now we know that was just a sham, a fraud. It was a way to say that they're not use the Republican name because everybody's starting to be hip that Republican means it's going to rip off you and give money to corporations. So the corporations funded and created a political party, the Tea Party. And the Tea Party is doing the same things as the Republican Party, just with a different name, over and over again. What does Republicans vote for? Just in a gist. Well, they vote for tax breaks for the rich, tax breaks for corporations, tax incentives to corporations to even move the businesses overseas anyway, right? They vote for building more prisons, right? Well, what do they vote against? What do Republicans vote against? Well, they vote against veterans. They vote against the elderly. They vote against health care for children. They vote against anything to do with environmental cleanup, environmental protection. And you know why? Because it would cut into corporate profit. See? Over and over again. Once you look at the record of what they actually vote for, you never vote Republican again. Republicans are against you.